This training segment will walk you through the technical aspects of completing the FPDS planning components of Strategia. This video is a short 15-minute step-by-step walkthrough of how to complete the FPDS Strategia Plan. If you're looking for guidance on how to draft or what kind of content to include in your plan, please consult the cheat sheet guide available online entitled Short Drafting Guide for FPDS. Let's get started. So to log into the system, select the fiscal year from the drop-down menu. You're planning ahead in Strategia, so the fiscal year you select will be the fiscal year starting in April. Next, select your mission from the second drop-down menu. If you type the first few letters of your mission symbol very quickly, you will be able to locate it without having to scroll through the entire mission list. Click Enter to log into the system. The first screen you see when you log in is your mission homepage. The top menu bar is where you'll go to find your relevant program area. Following Home and Program Budget, other mission programs appear in alphabetical order. The yellow box at the top of the screen includes a number of useful reminders when navigating in Strategia. For example, you should not use the browser's back button, you should save regularly, etc., etc. Please keep this in mind as you navigate, every time you navigate in the system. So below the yellow box are 5 key information boxes. You'll find on the left key information about the mission and the IMS fund centers. And on the right, you'll find the filing requirements and network participation. At the bottom, you'll find the status history. The filing requirements field is important because it tells you whether your mission is required to submit a program for a specific program area. Trade offices, for instance, will only see the commercial program box ticked as they will not be required to submit plans for the other program areas. Some missions may not have an FPDS program, and as such, these missions will not be required to submit an FPDS plan, and this will be reflected under the filing requirements. Note that if a box is not ticked in the filing requirements, as development is in this case, it will not appear in the menu bar at the top of the page. The network participation is also key as it tells users whether their mission is part of a broader network plan. Note that for year 1, only political networks are supported. And these networks consist mainly of in-country networks where countries like Brazil, India, and Germany, among others, submit program plans on a country basis rather than by mission. You can contact GLB for further questions about networks. So to get started on your FPDS plan, you can click the FPDS tab in the menu bar at the top. When you do so, you will see a drop-down menu appear with several items. The FPDS Home and Feedback Summary aside, the other items in this drop-down menu make up the program plan components that you will need to complete in order to submit your FPDS plan. So let's click the FPDS Home page to get started. This page gives you an overview of the steps involved in completing your FPDS plan, as well as a second way to access the program plan components. From this page, you can see where you are in the process. You can print or save a PDF version of the plan. You can view who has last updated the FPDS plan. And you can also access Feedback Summary. This is your go-to page for all of these key functionalities, and you'll likely visit this page many times over the drafting and planning process. So the program plan steps on the left side of the screen shows you where you are in the Strategia planning process. Note that you are on step 1, preparing for HQ review when you first log into the tool. Also something to note, on the Components of the Plan table, you may see the name of someone you don't recognize under the Updated By field. Not to worry, this is just a GLB staff member that has populated relevant information from the latest NPR plan for your mission into Strategia, making it easy for users to simply revisit and update the plan for the new fiscal year. So to get started working on your plan, you can click the Ongoing Engagements and Environment hyperlink either from the Components of the Plan or from the top menu bar. On this screen, you'll see 2 text boxes, one for FPDS bilateral work and a second text box for multilateral. Text here is pre-populated from what was entered under the previous year's NPR. You may also copy and paste material from other documents, and your formatting will be retained, or you can type directly into the text box. Note that there is a 3,000 character word limit. You can also use the formatting tools at the top of the text box, and you can include hyperlinks. While you are working in Strategia, be sure to save often. Like most online forms and applications, there's no autosave functionality in Strategia, and the system will automatically time out after a 60-minute period of inactivity. It's therefore important to remember to click the Save button regularly as you are drafting. When you do so, a yellow box will appear at the top of the page with a message in green confirming that your information has been saved successfully to the Strategia database. So moving on now to the next section, FPDS Desired Outcomes. Missions that completed an MPR plan last fiscal year will see a list of commitments focused on FPDS work populated here. You can scroll over the paper icon on the left side of the screen to see a snapshot of what is written under that desired outcome. When you click here, it won't do anything. To view and edit a desired outcome in the list, you'll have to click the pencil icon located on the right. When you click the pencil icon to edit a desired outcome, a template will be displayed with all of the fields related to that specific desired outcome. You'll see a series of questions and text boxes. Note that fields that are preceded by 2 red arrows are mandatory, and you will not be able to submit your plan without entering data into this field. A print icon can be found at the top of the page, and this will print this desired outcome only. It will not print the entire plan. A reminder again to click Save often to ensure that your content is not lost, and always click Save before changing pages. If you work on this desired outcome and you want to get back to the main list, click Save and then click the button next to it to go back to the main desired outcome list. After you've entered all of your desired outcomes, note that the recommended maximum is 5. You can reorder the list using the arrows on the right. When you're ready, you can move on to the next section, FPDS Resources, through the drop-down menu at the top horizontal bar. So the FPDS Resources page captures both financial and human resources data. On the Funded Positions table, enter the number of CBS and LES positions that are funded by the FPDS stream. This includes positions or boxes that exist but that may not be filled. For positions that are filled on a part-time basis, you should still indicate one whole position if the position is receiving full-time funding. Note that you may only include numerical information into these fields. Should there be additional details to include about the mission staffing situation or anomalies that may be misrepresented by the numbers that you entered above, please include a short narrative to explain in the box below. Keep in mind that Strategia is an unclassified system and no sensitive information should be included in these text boxes. So scrolling down next, we'll find the Program Operating Budget. You'll see many commitment items in this list, some of which you may not be familiar with. If you have any questions about the commitment items in this list, you may contact strategia.budget@international.gc.ca. So you'll complete this table based on anticipated needs for the next fiscal year. The numbers entered here should be based on planned FPDS events and initiatives. Note that whatever is entered here will roll up to a mission total and will form the overall mission budget request that will be submitted to headquarters. Budget requests will be reviewed by the Business Management Office, the BMO, along with the relevant geographic or functional DG, and allocation decisions will be based on what is entered here in Strategia. Again, if you have questions about the commitment items that appear here or about the budget process, please contact strategia.budget@international.gc.ca. So scrolling down the page, we next find a field for other DFATE funding sources. You'll see a message here that says no records found. To add a funding source, click the Add New button on the right. You'll find a few predefined options in the drop-down menu that will appear, including PIF, La Journée de la Francophonie, and CFLI. If there are other funding sources, DFATE funding sources that the mission is using to advance FPDS work, please call GLB to have the funding source added to the list. The partner funding table that follows works the same as above. When you click the Add New, you'll be prompted to select a partner from the drop-down list that will appear. The other funding table, the last and final other funding table, works a bit differently. When you click the Add New, the mission is prompted to actually type in the name of the contributing organization and to indicate whether it's a private firm or not. At the bottom of the page, users will find another text box giving missions the opportunity to include additional details about funding needs or challenges, including, for example, a special upcoming event in the new fiscal year or circumstances that may require more funding than the average year. Click Save to ensure that data entered here is not lost. Note that if you miss one of the mandatory fields, a message will appear in red at the top of the screen prompting you to fill it out. So once all of your sections are complete, you can go back to the FPDS homepage to print the plan to present it to the head of mission for review. You can still go back and make further changes to the plan components as needed while it's under the first step preparing for HQ review stage. Once the head of mission or charge has reviewed the plan and it's ready to be sent for consultations with headquarters, you can click the yellow Send to HQ for Review button found on the FPDS homepage. When you click this button, a draft email will pop up with some boilerplate text. You can change or add to this text and you can choose the email recipients. For example, you may want to consult your geographic or functional counterparts. Note that the Strategia team will be copied by default. Also note that when you click this button, it will lock the draft version of your plan, giving HQ the opportunity to review and comment through the Feedback tab. You'll be able to edit and update the plan again once HQ has submitted their feedback. Also to note, after clicking this button, you'll notice that a date stamp will appear in the Steps box on the left. This list of steps will guide you through the process. Note that anyone can view this page and see where the FPDS program is in their planning process. So once HQ review is complete and feedback has been submitted through Strategia, the mission point of contact will receive an email notification. The HQ reviewing draft step will also be date stamped with the date the feedback is sent back to the mission. The plan is now open again to the mission for editing and updates before it is finalized. To view feedback, click the FPDS tab from the top menu bar and select Feedback Summary from the drop-down list. Note that feedback entries can be done by different divisions at headquarters, so there may be feedback from various contributors to review. You can save or print the feedback using the button on the top left of the page. Once final updates to the plan have been made and the HOM is signed off, the FPDS programs can submit a final version of the plan. Go back to the home page and click the Finalize Plan button. Once clicked, a date stamp will record the submission date and the finalized version of the plan will be stored to the Strategia database. Note that the FPDS plan will remain open for editing throughout the year, allowing missions to reflect changes and maintain an evergreen plan. Once funding allocations for program operating budgets have been received and amounts have been divvied up among the various programs, each program should go back and enter the total amount allocated under the FPDS resource page, as well as a breakdown of funds by commitment item. This concludes our video tutorial on how to complete your FPDS plan. Should you have any questions or concerns, please contact the GLB/POI team at strategia.fpds-sped@international.gc.ca. Thank you.